Ladies and gentlemen, after a long train ride, welcome back to the vlog. Welcome back to Berlin. Welcome to what is probably going to be the last episode in this series. Quite tragically. I think so, yeah. So,
well, we are, I'll admit it, and I think Dray will reimburse it. We are utterly exhausted at this point in time.
yeah.
We got off a 5-hour train ride from Amsterdam, and let's just say I'm hoping for a much nicer, much larger hotel room, and I intend to spend much more time there on this particular instance.
Sure, yeah. Alright, well, we woke up this morning rather refreshed and are now exploring this memorial wall park that me and Otto found last time. I think it's crazy to see, again, you got to think about how recently a lot of this stuff happened and the impacts that it had. Yeah, this area is kind of mind-blowing to behold. So with that out of the way, I think we're going to do a little more exploring of downtown Berlin. Gray, you said you don't have any specific expectations for today?
I don't. We are going to see what there is to see, and then we're going to get on another very long train ride, but that won't be for a while. So,
yeah. We'll be looking forward to not that. All right, so Gray is in the middle of not having it right now.
I mean, I feel like we're both not having it right now.
Yeah. Well, it was a bit of a. It wasn't quite an hour, but we spent significant time in the train station trying to figure out how the luggage system works, and the answer is not very intuitively.
We arrived.
We arrived.
Took a detour down into the. Conveniently located in the side of the parking garage with no air conditioning luggage station, to find that it was a luggage station you could only pay in with coins,
which we did not have enough of.
Yeah, it's pretty inconvenient. And fortunately, they have thought of this by putting coin exchange there.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it didn't work. So, fortunately, there was another one upstairs,
which also didn't work.
Oh yeah, that's true. But there were at least more lockers there, and that's where I learned a really interesting fact is if you put luggage in a locker and you don't come back for it, it just stays there and keeps charging you more and more money. So if you do want to ruin Berlin's entire day, get yourself some good quality rocks and go around and just shove them in there, and then take all of the keys, pay the bare minimum fee you can, and no one in the entire train station will be able to store luggage.
So yeah, that was followed by an excursion around the train station, trying to find more storage.
The even more intuitive signs that seem to point in almost every direction for the luggage center, which we only found after we found the help desk, which was not particularly helpful. Yeah, it was not particularly helpful because the person there did not have a means of being able to speak to you, which is an interesting feature I haven't seen in most help desks in the U.S. And then as I was voicing my frustrations, I was barked at by a man, and then cut off by a little girl who I was close to kicking at full force. So, I would say that if Amsterdam's first impression was a crowded street, Berlin's first impression was being marched over by a parade of angry soldiers. It definitely, spending some time in the train station, I really felt like we were fighting on all fronts, and it left us in Berlin, pretty defeated and tired, I would say.
All right. So in the hopes that the rest of our experience here is a little a little bit of an improvement. Gray, you said this gives you like DC vibes almost?
It does. So it's got the same kind of wide pedestrian avenues, the same kind of almost sterile feeling about it, filled with like very strategically placed monuments such as I also think that the style of the parks, and I would venture to guess they're even built in similar times with similar influences, because it just feels the same to me. I don't know. Have you been to DC recently?
Not recently, but from what I remember, yeah, it feels like a take on kind of DC's theme in a way.
I wouldn't say a take. It's just maybe just putting that into it feels like a capital.
Well, yeah. And actually, last time I came here, I was reminded a lot of Paris. Kind of, if you go down this way, you've got kind of wide streets, wide sidewalks with kind of parks / walking paths in between. And it felt very Paris-esque to me. So, yeah. This floor alone, there is a Replay, Tommy Jeans, Wrangler, and also a Levi's. So we are very much discovering how serious the Germans are about their jeans.
Indeed. In fact, they only like pure jeans. Is what I've heard.
Oh no. Me and Gray are both down horrendous for a couple of Lego sets they've got here. Just absolutely fantastic. Awestruck. We found another Pommesfreunde, and Gray has decided to order the barbecue beef bacon currywurst,
which is different from the barbecue bacon burger that was not eaten by me.
No,
I'm not that. Let's go ahead and try the.
Yeah, tell us what you think of very popular German street food here, Gray.
Are you supposed to mix this up, or are you just?
I think you just eat it as is.
Okay. Well, I will say right off the bat, incredibly fragrant. I don't know if I can like it. They smell.
Well, there is a curry powder on it. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Okay. I like the sauce and the curry powder on them.
Mm-hmm.
I will, coming from a country where hot dogs are the predominant sausage, I would like maybe a more strong distinction between this sausage and a hot dog. I don't want to.
All right, fair.
There's something where it feels like that's what I'm eating, but it's not. I would not have put this combination of stuff together.
No.
But I do like it.
It's a solid combo.
It's definitely a solid pick. I would say a good 6.5 probably.
All right.
I'm enjoying it.
All right.
This feels like another thing that we should have done first somehow, but didn't. So,
we got out Americaned again.
That is disappointing. We need to stop that from happening.
We need to step up our game.
You heard that, America. March through the streets of Berlin.
What? How did you get that? All right, so with lunch out of the way, we are now going to head to Checkpoint Charlie, the most American-feeling part of this already pretty American-feeling city.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, can't wait to show some patriotism.
Quality bear
Oh, that is an excellent bear spot over there. One of the most American things we have ever seen. Multi-story KFC, an American soldier, Checkpoint Charlie. It's nice to be back. I'm home.
I'm hard.
Oh. Absolutely beautiful sight. Oh yeah. Really showing what it's got.
And that is nothing.
Yep. So after a nice little visit to Checkpoint Charlie, we ended up at the Hard Rock Cafe. Gift shirt. Gray, you wanna show us what we've won?
Well, it's that right there.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
This is gonna go hard.
I myself am very proud of the influence of my people here.
Getting ready to round out our very short trip to Berlin here. We got the town hall. It was an average trip to Berlin, yes, okay. But we got this really nice little park. Few sites just to round things off. The town hall, the TV tower. You guys might remember this from the previous vlog. Museum Island is not too far away, so
we're gonna see what we can squeeze in these last memorable moments.
Yeah, exactly.
Capital in the world's capital, if you will.
Just a really excellent collection of buildings and things to look at in such a small area. I really do like this city. Breaching now into the Museum Island, which is
admire the left side of this building right here.
Yeah,
And the right side.
completely different aesthetics. Interesting tactic.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most egregious examples I've seen yet of Germany trying to cover up some of its history.
Oh, Gray's comments aside, it's a very beautiful looking island. We got the cathedral here, which is large, not huge, not quite Antwerp size, but it's still very pretty looking
and very round. We haven't seen a lot of really rounded domes here, but if you look around, we've seen.
Yeah, there's a few round things around here, I suppose. Pretty solid, presentable looking island.
Squarest building you ever.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I was admiring this building over here, but Gray got a little too distracted by this metal plaque, emphasizing the greatness of communism, which is interesting attitude for him to take. Gray, do you care to comment on your attitudes toward this? We've seen some quality bear statues here. Absolutely. Berlin absolutely loving the bears. It's
The bears.
no bears. Go bears. Ooh. Absolutely gorgeous. Phenomenal architecture. Well, our time in Berlin is very quickly come to a close. Quite tragically, right as I think we were starting to warm up to the city.
I think
Or at least, well, Gray at least. I had already warmed up, but so it was a nice little time here, I think. And after a long train ride back, we will have all of tomorrow to explore Stuttgart and, for me, make my final preparations to leave the country.
Yes. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. So Deutsche Bahn has been pretty adamant about us not having a good time on this trip.
It's gonna be another strong 0 out of 10 for Deutsche Bahn. I would also like to emphasize, I kind of like the audacity. There was not even a thank you for your understanding for the 55-minute delay. And so as a result, we missed our train.
Which we should have had a 45-minute layover for.
Yes, but we were instead 10 minutes late for.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have found ourselves with 45 minutes to spare in the town of Nuremberg. So
Yeah, it's nice to be back, honestly. Not how I planned on coming back, but we got a few minutes to spare, so might as well check out the very different from what we've
Indeed.
seen so far. It's quite nice.
I've never been to Nuremberg, so I'm eager to learn what this city's famous for.
Oh no. I'd honestly be a bit surprised if we managed to find a Chinatown in here, but this is pretty cool. This is pretty sick, either way. And not a particularly long visit, nor is it necessarily under the best circumstances. But it is nice to be back in Nuremberg, even if for a few minutes. So we did eventually make it back last night. So that means today is officially our last day in Germany, quite tragically. So we're going to spend it doing something we both enjoy, looking at cars. Yeah, it does look very new. Oh.
It's a nice Toulouse right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Oh, what's back there?
Probably a Diablo. Ooh. Dray is just absolutely hornswoggled right now. Ooh. All right, Gray, wish to sum up our thoughts?
Well, we got to see some treasures today.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, I would never have dreamt the Ferrari dealership would be the saving grace of it was some immaculate cars. I know the F40 in particular.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a bit of a car that maybe you only get to see once.
There's not a lot of them. They're pretty well valued. So yeah,
I think
that
on
was
top
huge.
of that, getting to see, rather not see some stuff in the McLaren and
Almost got to see some Paganis. So
So I would say, all in all, a pretty hugely successful trip. I know.
I agree. Yes.
Drayden, obviously, you came in with a little bit higher expectations, having been
Oh
here.
well, I don't know. Higher expectations is the right word, but I have seen a lot of things here, and I was hoping to see more very expensive stuff. And it's a shame that some of the stuff was under wraps, but still can't really come here and be disappointed. It's kind of hard to do that, in my opinion.
But all in all, a great trip, and I guess we will
Be heading off to the museums next.
That is true.
We're stopping for lunch. One last food review of the series. Gray is quite enjoyed his Almdudler at Otto's recommendation, and so now he is going for one authentic German bratwurst.
It's a German bratwurst.
It's a bratwurst in Germany.
That's true.
That's authentic-ish. Go ahead and tell us how it tastes.
It's definitely like more peppery than I imagined. I don't know, I guess I'm used to sausage focus being like the meat flavor.
Yeah.
But I really like it. Honestly, a win.
Yeah. I do quite like bratwurst because it's a little less strong in terms of meat flavor than say most other sausages. I'm really struggling with the skin, whatever's on this, but otherwise really solid.
Are you gonna give that a try, or am I trying?
Yeah, one sec. Yeah, definitely a little peppery, but as I've come to expect, it's a much more subdued meat flavor, and I do really like that. Most sausages are very strong; they lean very heavily into that, and honestly, it's almost a bit of a turnoff for me. What do you have to say about the schnitzel?
It's pretty good. I don't know how this differs from like fried chicken patties and stuff like that we have in the U.S. You said it's pork.
It's usually pork. Yeah, is typically what it is.
This is something I'd really like to see more widespread. I feel like this is not culturally far from what people in the U.S. would eat.
All right.
And I, for one, am a fan of it. So I wish there was some more of this going on in the U.S. It's very good.
Schnitzel is solid.
Yeah,
solid go-to.
I'm gonna say the Cecil is. I'm gonna give them both a strong 6.5. I think.
All right.
Pretty good.
One last beautiful look of Schloss spots. Gorgeous. For our next stop, back to the Mercedes Museum.
Gonna let this distinguished gentleman have his turn. Now it's mine.
And finally, we're ending things off at probably my favorite place in Stuttgart, the Porsche Museum. So, Gray, what were your thoughts on the car museums?
Well, I definitely agree with your sentiment. I think roughly, I would say the same content, or the same
Same sort of
massive,
collection, yeah.
massive content, but
Spread out over two very different areas. Let's catch it. All right, we're running.
Talk to you in a sec.
Hold on. We are back. No time has passed whatsoever.
I don't think so.
No, none. And what were we talking about? Definitely didn't go out for dinner and
Do you
drinks.
think we should address the glare change in environment?
No.
So, the Mercedes and the Porsche museums were quite lovely. I think the Mercedes Museum, as me and Drayton were talking about it, just a little bit of filler. Even as an automotive person, it was almost a little bit too big to tour, especially on our cramped schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And it unfortunately left us with only an hour for the Porsche Museum. I will say before the Porsche Museum, the Mercedes Museum did have an incredible tribute to its racing heritage on a sloped racetrack, and you could take pictures of them like they were on a track.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a highlight of the museum.
Quite nice, yeah.
And then the Porsche Museum really played into fans of the brand's 911 heritage and the brand's racing heritage.
Absolutely, yeah. I played very heavily into those.
And I am a huge fan of both of them, so I think it was a clear winner for me.
I have to agree.
And so I definitely would come back to both of them. And
Absolutely.
Drayton, I don't know if you have any thoughts on either of them.
Nah, my thoughts are more or less in the same place. I think I do like the Porsche Museum a bit more, but I would have no complaints about getting invited back to either one.
No, that's
absolutely
true. Great
fantastic.
value for your money.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I will say, a little bit disappointed in the gift shop.
That's fair, yeah. They don't have quite as much to offer as you might expect, but, you know, it's a relatively minor gripe in the grand scheme of
If
things.
you're looking in the right places.
But as you can see, the wall is completely blank. In fact, most of the room is. The decorations have been taken down, and we are, well, in the middle of packing. Or I'm in the middle of packing. Yeah, it's a bit of a frantic night. For me, trying to figure out how to fit what I have in what I have, and yeah, we're it's a bit of a sad moment actually.
Yeah, I think for both of us a little bit, but
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. there's I think you said something at dinner about how traveling makes you realize how little you know about the world. And
Yeah.
I think for me, I get a little bit of joy from this moment, knowing that it's trips like these that really, really give me a desire to travel the world like that, to see just how little I know.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of upside to the sadness of things coming to a close here. But I think that we will do what we've got to do tonight.
Yeah, and I guess check in with you guys tomorrow for hopefully an uneventful flight. All right, so finally at the airport through security, Gray and I got 3 of our 4 collective bags pulled by security, which was fantastic.
I will admit that was because I had water that I forgot about my bag, so give credit to them. But Drayton,
Mine was
just wanted to look at your stuff for fun. So
yeah. See what someone has collected over the months I've been here. So we are through security and with plenty of time to spare, which is a massive relief off my shoulders. And I promised to buy Gray a big old coffee, so we are probably going to go do that soon because I could certainly use one.
Yeah, let's get some coffee.
Right, so our experience in Paris so far has been we walked 5 minutes off the plane to get to a bus, which was a 10-minute drive past our gate to another gate, because in Europe apparently you have to check your passport before leaving as well. And then after that we got on another bus which drove us another 10 minutes back to our gate. And we walked through a shopping mall to get here, a very bougie looking shopping mall. And after about another 10 minutes of walking, we were finally coming up on gate M50. Way down there, so.
No, and you might think that M50 would mean that we are at Terminal M and that is gate 50, but you would be very, very wrong. You see, we are actually in Terminal 2E. Most terminals are 2 something, this one's 2E. And the M gates are actually 1/2 of Terminal 2E. Now, if you were looking at your ticket, you were quite mistaken and you thought you were departing from a G gate, you would be in the completely wrong terminal of Terminal 2E.
Exactly.
So you would need to take a 10 to 15 minute bus ride.
Long story short, Charles de Gaulle Airport is an absolute mess. And if you have anything less than a 1 hour layover, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I would not recommend.
So our experience in JFK so far, we got here, had to sit on the runway for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Not sure what that was about.
A warning sign, really, for the rest of our experience.
Then walked from Terminal 1 to Terminal 2 after...
Not take a bus.
Walked.
We walked out
and
the
that
front
happened
door.
after we got through, them checking our passports.
Mm-hmm.
And me rechecking my luggage.
Yes.
And
then getting your bag searched again.
Yeah. And after we walked to Terminal 2, we went through security again, and I had my bag searched again, and now it's even more uncomfortable than it was before.
There we go.
Then we took a bus to Terminal 4, which is now where we are,
We took a bus to our side of Terminal 4, which is really not Terminal 4 at all. It just is the B gates. of Terminal 2, which they occasionally call Terminal 4, but also don't.
And then our flight, which we already had a 4-hour layover for, got delayed by an additional hour. So we are literally just sitting here doing nothing because we have nothing better to do.
Yeah,
So yeah,
my mind definitely.
JFK really giving Paris a run for its money.
I
here.
would say has already beat Paris in my mind, to be honest.
Yeah.
We did have another phenomenal experience with Delta Airlines, where we got in the service desk line, and she directed us to the gate agent, and then we got dinner and we came back to the gate agent, who directed us towards the service desk, and I have a guess as to where the service desk might direct us if we went there.
Yeah, so lovely experience. Thank you, Delta Airlines.
Quality experience with Delta.
Yeah, but at least we did get a pretty sick shot of the New York skyline.
We did, which you will see in this grainy photo.
Well, after much waiting and delay, we are in line to get on our flight. We're just gonna skip past the boring stuff. Gray is tired and out of it, and we'll just skip past the last leg of our journey. Let you know when we get there. All right. I don't want to get into it, but there were many delays in us getting here.
We were supposed to get in. I believe it was
like 11:30.
Yeah, and
it's now 1 o'clock in the morning. So, but we are here, back in beautiful Raleigh, Durham,
the birthplace
airport.
of aviation.
Sure. And yeah, it's nice to be back. So, Gray, thank you for joining with me.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, these last few vlogs have been pretty fun, and I'm sure the viewers will hear from you again very soon. And so, just like that, we're back where we started 5 months later. Still have a lot of unpacking to do, but I have a few packages. Might do an unboxing video, but we're back. And if I had to deliver something conclusive, I would say that these 5 months have been really the experiences I've had, the things I've learned, and the places I've gotten to visit, especially. It's all been really just beyond anything I would have imagined when first leaving here all those months ago. So, yeah, it's been fantastic. It's been absolutely incredible. And so, one last time, I thank you guys for joining me on this series. It's been greatly appreciated. I hope it was halfway as entertaining for you as it was for me. And yeah, until next time, you guys have a good one.